If you need level 40, unlimited, or anything else grinded here in Season 3, make sure to hit up Rose NBA for fast, safe, and reliable grinding services. Yo, what is good YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing episode number 14, or at least I think it's episode number 14 of I Build Your Teams, series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for my team Unlimited and or competitive play based on how much MT they have and what their squad is currently looking like. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, help me push towards the 9,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and we really appreciate your support if you haven't already, if you do subscribe. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting with the first team today, which comes in from Homs. He's got 68 KMT, and obviously, as y'all can see, my man's has a god squad. He's literally not even using Larry Bird, but he's got Dr. J and Tim Duncan. I mean, his team is incredible. That being said, there are two moves that I would make. One, I would sell John Wall and buy another PG. Up to you which of the three tall PGs to buy. Lonzo, LaMelo, Magic. It really depends on who you prefer. The other upgrade is selling Hakeem and replacing him with, in my opinion, Kristaps Porzingis. You could go Tyson Chandler for even cheaper, maybe a little bit more inside defense, but I think KP is probably the better overall card in my opinion. So I'd be picking up one of those three PGs and KP. That's it. I don't think you need to play Larry Bird, to be completely honest. I mean, I love Carmelo. I really do like Carmelo a lot, especially next to two guys who are solid defenders in Penny and Kobe. I really love Carmelo a ton, so I don't think you need to force Larry Bird into the lineup, especially since both your power forwards are better than Larry. Overall, I love this squad. I don't think there are significant changes needed, but I would add one of those taller PGs and KP at the backup center. Now, second squad today comes in from Steven. He's got 250,000 MT, says he's grinding for AD now. Once he adds AD to the squad, that's going to give him a bit more positional flexibility with this team. But I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to make some changes real quickly and build you a 10-man lineup real quickly. So first of all, we're going to throw Lonzo in at the starting PG. I think for the budget, for the elite PGs, he is the best in terms of value. Now, Rip Hamilton and Tyler Hero, honestly, I don't love either of those guys at the shooting guard position. I think you're better off going Gervin at the starting two. For now, we can go Richard Hamilton back up two. You could also go with a diamond to Tracy McGrady, would be a great option potentially. At the three, I think Jimmy is great. I'm totally cool with that. And I think Rudy Gay off the bench at the three is totally good as well. Now, next we have James Worthy, who I think I'm going to throw in at the backup four now, and we're going to start Thurl Bailey, who's brand new and really good. Once you get Anthony Davis, you can slot him in honestly at the five with this squad. I think that's where he fits best. And then you go back up five and you pick up a guy like Tyson Chandler, who's super cheap and super good, especially his EVID version. Finally, you're gonna have to slot in a backup PG. My personal opinion would be Alex Caruso. If you want more of an offensive guy, go with a Stephon Marbury, but something along these lines for this 10-man is, I think, the ideal lineup that you can build without spending a ridiculous amount of MT. Because you're buying Lonzo, you're buying Thurl, and you're buying Tyson Chandler, but you're also able to sell a couple players in your squad, and this is a really good team. So I like this squad a lot. I think this might be the way to go. What you could even consider doing is something along these lines. This would spend a little bit more MT, but I think this is even a better 10-man in all honesty. But this is probably going to spend close to all your MT if you build this 10-man, but this squad right here is really nice. In fact, I like this team a lot more than the last team. This is what I'd go with personally if I were you, but I'm not you, and it's kind of up to you what you want to do with your team. So something like this, though, is what I'd be looking to build for a 10-man, and I think it's possible with the team that you have currently and your MT. So third squad today is going to come in from Denver. He's got 500,000 MT. Says he low-key wants Shaq. If you want Shaq, pick him up. Run him at the backup center instead of Hakeem. He's a dominant inside force. Can't shoot the ball, obviously, but if you think you can play with an inside, I mean, go for it. What I probably would recommend doing instead of getting Shaq would be picking up another PG, a LaMelo, Alonzo, or a Magic, one of those three guys. And then again, selling Hakeem and swapping him out for KP. Hakeem might be better than KP as a base card, but maybe you can get a KP with a couple extra hoffs, or just fully gold badged at least, or something like that. And for his price, he's just much more cost effective than Hakeem. So that's what I would do. But if you do want Shaq, feel free to pick him up at the backup center. You can sell Hakeem then anyway, and you can still pick up one of those other PGs. Maybe you go with more offensive PG like LaMelo, considering you don't really have a primary ball handler off your bench, and you could slot LaMelo in there at the backup one. Now you're also probably gonna have Tim Duncan soon. Once you have Tim Duncan, I slide Thurl Bailey to the three, play Tim and AD as your fours, because I see you already have Clyde Drexler and AD, so you're probably pretty close to Tim Duncan. So I'll say that as well. But very solid squad already for Dinwiddie. Okay, fourth team today comes in from Stephen Adams. He's got he's on PS5. He only has 9,000 MT. I did not realize he only had 9k MT when I put this team in the video. And on all honesty, you are limited a little bit by that MT amount, and honestly also by the fact that you don't have really any auctionable players in your lineup. So I will say I think we can rebuild this lineup just a little bit to improve it. You gotta, I don't know if you spend your I don't know if you spend your MT on packs. If you spend your MT on packs, you gotta stop doing that. It's not worth it at all. Whatever you're spending your MT on, just make sure you start saving MT instead, so that you have more MT flexibility to work with in the future. So I will say the one player you should buy is Alex Caruso. You can just play a few games with really any mode to just get the last couple thousand MT that you need for Caruso. In terms of your twos, you don't have a ton of amazing options, but I would say Devin Booker is probably going to be your best option, as well as a guy like who did we have here? Backup, I guess backup shooting guard will still be Rip Hamilton. And then at the 3, you got Jimmy Butler. Obviously, he's fine. Jimmy's very good still in this game. Rashard Lewis, backup 3, isn't awesome. I honestly like Larry Johnson more than Rashard Lewis, so I'd go with him backup 3. At the 4 and the 5, I like McHale. I don't hate Jermaine, but I don't love Jermaine. If you could save a little bit of MT and get a guy like Thurl Bailey, he could start at the 4, and you could bring McHale off the bench. But for now, we'll go with this, and we'll still slot these guys in as your 4s. And at the 5s, for me personally, the 5s that I'd be running are Brook Lopez and Joel Embiid, and then you can have Big Z last 3, because I see you already have Brook at the end of the bench. But this type of 10-man is going to be better than the way that you're running your squad currently. You're going to have more success, I think, with this. And then you got to start saving some MT so that you can make some of these budget upgrades. Picking up guys like Thurl Bailey, Kristaps Porzingis, and guys like that to the squad will really help you out a ton. But rearrange your lineup, pick up a Caruso, build something like this, and it's going to give you a great starting point to continue to work on your team. Second to last squad today comes in from Peyton. He's got 84,000 MT. Says he's thinking about selling Penny to buy Zoe and Ricky, picking up Thurl to replace Pippen at the backup 3. You know, I like both those ideas, to be honest. But what I like even more, to be completely honest, is probably going to be moving Jimmy to your 2 and have Jimmy and Clyde as your 2s, and then you pick up Thurl and start him at the 3. I think that's even better, to be honest, because I don't love Corey Maggetti's fine, but I think Pippen is better than Corey Maggetti, in all honesty, still. And then you can have Clyde as your backup 2, Jimmy and Thurl as your 2 and your 3. You could sell Penny if you want and buy Ricky Davis. If I were going to sell Penny personally, I'd sell him and buy LaMelo and Lonzo. I don't know if you can get both those guys for the price of Penny, but I think you could probably get pretty close. If you can get both of those guys, LaMelo, Lonzo, as your 2 PGs, and then you have Jimmy and Clyde as the 2s, and Thurl and Pippen as the 3s, I think that's the best way to go about building this team. And one other thing that you could actually consider, because I see you don't have Tim Thomas, you might want to consider selling Kareem. I know he's probably the best center in the game still, but Tyson Chandler's like 30,000 MT, and he gives you 90% of what Kareem does on the court. That's another way to free up some MT if you wanted to do that as well, at which point you may have the MT to buy a guy like Ricky Davis, in addition to having both those PGs, LaMelo and Lonzo. So then you could get LaMelo, Lonzo, and Ricky Davis, sell Penny and Kareem, pick up Tyson Chandler as well, still move Jimmy to the 2, and put Thurl at the 3. And that might be the ideal lineup for you to build right now. Last squad today comes in from 1003. He's got 178k MT. Penny, Kobe, Russ, Ricky Davis, Scottie Pippen, James Worthy, KG, Giannis, KP, and Hakeem. All right, I like it. Sell Hakeem, get Tyson Chandler. Sell KG, get Thurl Bailey. Those 2 slot in immediately. It's going to save you a ton of MT. You're going to be closer to probably 400,000 MT. That's just a guess, but I'd say much closer to 400,000 or even 500,000 MT. And you're going to have, legitimately just as good of a team. You won't even miss a beat. At that point, you're going to have a ton more MT flexibility. I'd pick up Alonzo Ball because he's the cheapest of the tall PGs, and you already have a primary ball handler in Ricky Davis. And then I'd probably look to get a 3, although there's not really a super great budget 3 right now that is improvement over Pippen and Worthy. So I think you might actually just hold on to that. But go Penny, Lonzo, Kobe, Ricky, Pippen, Worthy, Thurl, Giannis, KP, and Tyson Chandler. And that 10-man it's honestly better than the 10-man that you're working with right now, and you're going to have more MT right now than you do right now as well. So it's going to give you the ability to upgrade your squad and actually save MT, which is really the ultimate win-win in this game. So that is going to do it for this video, though that was the last team of the video. If you want to be involved in a future video, make sure you follow me over on Twitter and be on the lookout for a tweet about this series each and every week on Friday nights. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.